The greatest episode of the early season thus far is NCIS Season 22, Episode 4, Sticks and Stones, which is the type of high-stakes, team-focused hour that NCIS has mastered for more than 20 years. Even if their relationship doesn't have the happy ending we would have hoped for, it's still a fantastic episode for Jessica Knight and Jimmy Palmer's relationship. Above all, that hour demonstrates how well Aiden Parker, played by Gary Cole, was chosen to take over as team leader following Larry Jethro Gibbs' retirement. A Gibbs copycat would have been the choice of another program, but because Gibbs could not be replaced, the show had to take a different approach. It is a testament to Cole and to the show that has reimagined itself numerous times following major cast departures and has never, ever missed that the character they chose to fill those roles is not only as good as he is, but also functions as well within this team as Gibbs ever did. Now let's talk about NCIS Season 22, Episode 4, Sticks and Stones, which covers the ship, the crew, and Parker. We anticipated that Knight and Shining Palmer would have a significant episode in NCIS Season 22, Episode 4, Sticks and Stones, and it was, however, things did not turn out the way we had hoped. Rather, they proceeded as they most likely would in actual life, in a logical manner. And right now, that's a really difficult pill to take. Don't get me wrong, I can see why they aren't resuming their relationship right away since the fundamental problems haven't been resolved, or, at the very least, they aren't prepared to acknowledge that things have changed enough for the relationship to be worthwhile. That seems to be what the show is sort of laying the groundwork for. Jimmy realizing that he is free to desire things and to hang on to them, and Jessica realizing that family may be more significant than a potential career that would never provide her the same level of happiness as being with Jimmy, to make requests of the person with whom he is romantically involved. However, Jessica and Jimmy aren't there yet, even though they both affirm that they still love one another. And to be honest, if they don't perform the necessary internal work, they might never reach that point. Ignoring the problems just cause them suffering. Additionally, there is merit in addressing these issues for your own benefit rather than only attempting to mend a relationship. However, they must continue to work on them aggressively. Since they both have problems to work out and then neglect to work on them, this cannot be anything they say no to. In essence, therefore, what I'm arguing is if the show is actually moving forward with this plot and not just putting Jessica and Jimmy on the back burner without giving them a chance to change into the people they need to be in order to reconcile, then I can live with that. I think there is a plan because this is a procedural and Jessica and Jimmy are the major characters on NCIS. All I want is for there to be some action here as soon as possible. In some ways, Sticks and Stones, the fourth episode of NCIS Season 22, was a Parker episode, a team episode, and an episode about Jessica and Jimmy's relationship. But it was particularly a Parker episode since the hour demonstrated not only how skilled he is at his work, but also how well-liked and trusted he is by this crew. Parker wasn't the clear choice to succeed Gibbs. In fact, there was a slight disconnect when Gary Cole entered after Gibbs left. He was quite different from Gibbs, and we were accustomed to Gibbs' methods. It's almost as if Parker became our stepfather after Gibbs raised us, and nobody really knew how that would turn out. But after 3 seasons, this team seems very much like Parker's. Even Nikki, who was around for the most of Gibbs' reign, doesn't doubt it. The reason it works is that the dynamics have never been the same and Parker is firm and kind in different ways than Gibbs. In our minds, we never compare the two. It's okay that one chapter of NCIS came to an end and a new one started. Both can be beneficial. Without implying that we didn't like Gibbs and Tony or Gibbs and Ziva, we can appreciate Parker's friendship with McGee, his humor with Torres, and his interactions with Jessica. The focus of this episode was leader and take charge Parker. We could expect more history on Parker's emotional side in the upcoming season. That can only improve the character, given how much we already like him.